Welcome to another episode of What's Up with Tyler Gallagher. This is your recap show for all things BORGER. I am your host, Tyler Gallagher, here to bring you your Week 8 recap. Opening it up with our nail-biter of the week. The Birds of War took out the New York Football Gordons 155 to 142. RJ, you got robbed. Birds of War just couldn't be stopped. C-Mac is inevitable. Next up, what I thought was the matchup of the week. Chases On absolutely dominated the Gasps and take sole possession of first place in Pickle East in our laugher of the week. Jahmyr Gibbs, AJ Brown, and Joshua Dobbs all went at absolutely crazy for the Chases On.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Joshua Dobbs used to come into Whole Foods a lot when he was backup quarterback for the Steelers, and I saw him. He seemed like a nice guy. Next up, Game Plan McMahon took out American Gucci, and let me tell you, it kind of seems like this is spawning the American Gucci tank for the rest of the year. Both teams had 20-point tight ends in this game. I didn't know you could even play Taysom Hill as a viable tight end. You learn something new every week. Next up, in a bitter rivalry, the Taints versus formerly Fuck the Taints, Wayne's fantasy football team. The Taints dropped 170 behind 30-point games from both Gus Edwards and CeeDee Lamb. Crazy stuff. Next up, Jemima Kirk Cousins taking out Linguini with muscles, but at what cost? Kirk Cousins down with a torn Achilles. And for Jemima Kirk Cousins to lose its mascot this late in the season, gotta be pretty rough.
Yeah.
Finally, the main event. Ayahuasca Healing with win number 1 on the year, taking out the Wizards of Loneliness. Former future Bird of War Austin Eckler dropped 21.3. But I think the big story of this game is Wizards of Loneliness' quarterback Pat Mahomes with just 7.94 points. I don't want to discredit Ayahuasca's win here because it was a big one, but you're not going to win with performances from like that from Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
Bonus stats of the week. I know Tyler Gallagher tried to take my bonus stats, but fuck that guy. Number 1, Ayahuasca is on the board finally. And I'll talk about it later, but could this be the start of a big run for Mr. Gaffney here? Number 2, 8 of the 12 teams in BORGER dropped over 130 points, including devastated losses from WFFT and the NYFBGs. Sorry, guys. Finally, have the Gasps been exposed? They were utterly dominated by the Chases On, and now rank 9th in points for. While they have a comfortable playoff position, I believe they're 2 games ahead in Pickle East. Can they hang on? And will any of the teams below them make a run? It's one of the big storylines for the rest of the season, I think. Finally, my matchup of the week for Week 9. I usually like to talk about the good teams in our league. However, I think the big matchup of the week is American Gucci versus Ayahuasca Healing. battle of the last two remaining 1-7 teams in the league, and with this recent trade that we all saw go down, it seems like the American Gucci tank is underway. Gaffney, I want to see you make a late season run. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Alright, I think that's everything for this week. Tune in next week for another episode of What's Up?
Corey Every, Wizards of Loneliness co-commish. How are you doing today, man? Welcome to the BNN studios.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Doing well. How about you?
Oh, not bad. Been looking forward to this segment this week. You know, I think these commish sit-downs have been, really fun for everybody. We're getting to kind of go over and get a feel for this season, see how everybody's feeling, see where they're at, and talk a little bit of shop, talk business. We got a really competitive league. So, really happy to have you. That being said, you are the co-commish, man, right? You are a co-commish. You are also a manager of a competitive team over there in the Cheese South division, the Wizards of Loneliness. So, hey, listen, first question off, how heavy is that head? How are you feeling? How do you manage to relax, co-commish, and running a successful franchise?
The trick, I think, to relaxing is I never relax. There's never a day off when it comes to commission or managing the boys. Managing the Wizards of Loneliness is a full-time job, as is co-commission. So I got 2 full-time jobs. There's no time for relaxing.
Yeah, 2 full-time jobs. That's
in one league.
Back to that. How do you like your team's performance this year?
There's been ups and downs for sure. There was a while where we found our groove and we were really hitting. We had a big illness this past week. Patrick Mahomes, he didn't have it. And that really kind of put us behind the 8 ball. And, hopefully it didn't undo a bunch of really good progress that we made. Hopefully it's just, a little bump in the road. But, ups and downs. The season's a roller coaster.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been saying all season long on WhatsApp over here, people love Mahomes. They love him out there. They want to see him out there. They want to see him producing. So let's talk record and strategy, okay? You find yourself 5-3, 3rd place in Cheese South, and that's that's no small task. It's tough over there. So strategy as we approach the trade deadline. How are you liking your guys sticking out there in the division, and how'd you like to see this way forward?
Yeah, 5-3 is a tough spot because basically I'm 1 good week away from being 1st place in Cheese South, and I'm 1 bad week away from being out of the playoff picture completely. So, tough competition. We got there were some injuries ahead of me, so I'm looking to see how other teams bounce back from that. But yeah, it's super competitive, always on my toes.
Yeah, who do you think is your stiffest competition over there in Cheese South?
Jemima Kirk Cousins was super tough. He just lost his quarterback though, so I got to see how he bounces back before I put more faith in him. Birds of War has been, running a good squad all year. I think that's going to be, if I were to optimistically look to the future, I would say it would be him and I at the top. And,
Yeah, okay. You and Bird's up there, man. I look at Bird's roster and it really blows me away. I didn't like that. It's like Jalen Hurts over there and C Mac. That's a hell of a combo. And it's like fucking 50, 60 points a week. Why do so many adults like Harry Potter?
I think they just want something to believe in.
The only winless team in the league, Ayahuasca Healing, just won his first game over here, and it was over you. And you know, something can be said about any given Sunday, right? You had that big American Gucci takedown of Birds of War. Ayahuasca is out here taking down the Wizards. So for this portion of Defend This, I'd really love to hear your take on, you know, what the hell happened this week. Defend this. Defend losing to Ayahuasca.
Yeah. So like you said, any given Sunday, anything could happen. And I honestly, Ayahuasca, he had a great week, and he met me when we had a really bad week. So he kind of blew us out. And during practice, we were running drills all week, and my guys are like, Coach, do we have to take it serious? This guy's got 0 wins. Who cares about practice? And I said, that's not the right mentality. You never know what could happen.
Was it tough? Was it tough to take him seriously in practice the whole week? Was it tough?
So this is what I'm telling my guys. I said, guys, the manager of Ayahuasca Healing, this guy, he's the only other guy, other than myself, that maybe in the whole world that could hit a baseball out of the park at this baseball field upstate. So I knew that going in, we were going to have a tough competition. I know the heart this guy has. I know the pure strength that he had. So I'm telling my guys, like, look, he's the only other guy who can hit this home run. We can't count him out. I think we got to be practicing a little better.
That's surprising, you know, because I heard there were a lot of reports this week over here of your guys just taking it a little bit easy on the field, eating Roy Rogers, not completing their sit-ups and stuff like that. So we'll have to see about that. All right, so good Defend This. Appreciate you answering the tough questions. It's not easy to really be faced with, you know, sometimes the dagger feeling right to the chest of taking a deep L when you need a W. But you were great there, Corey. Always appreciate that. All right, Corey. So listen, we've covered a lot of bases today. We've talked, you know, spoken about strategy and record, some other squads out there, but of all the current serving NFL coaches, who out there do you think would be the best dad?
Best dad. I'm glad you asked me this because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. 2 names come to mind. The first name is Sean McVay of the Los Angeles Rams. I feel like he's like kind of cool, and he'd probably be a cool dad, but he's like really hands off, so his kids might not like him. But what I think is probably the best answer, Andy Reid, like he looks like he's like really good at hugging. And
best day, good hugs, yeah, probably for Reid, of course, yeah.
I'm thinking Andy Reid. He's gonna like discipline you, but like hug you pretty good too. So
and he probably doesn't personally have the energy to like chase you around too much or like bother you. You're like mess with your shit, you know. Appreciate you stopping by again. And any last words before we hit it?
No, thanks for having me. I love what you're doing, not only with your half of the league, but also, you know, the entertainment part. You're keeping people together, connected, drinking a cool drink.
Yeah.
Love the interaction. You know, this is other leagues don't have this. This is special. So I appreciate the work you're putting into this. Definitely.
Hey man, we're all on the same squad here, and yeah, absolutely. Great talking to you, Corey. See you soon, bud.
Yeah, see you soon.